I want you to hit me as hard as you can.
Boy, has it really been 5 years since they first tried to reboot Ghostbusters? Because I sure don't miss people getting mad at each other on the internet over that piece of shit.
Mass hysteria!
But not to worry, Ghostbusters fans, because Jason Reitman is looking to follow in his father Ivan's footsteps and finally give us a true third Ghostbusters movie, with Ghostbusters Afterlife. And whether you think Jason Reitman did his dad and the late Harold Ramis proud, or just made another pointless reboot, he did at least finally reunite the original surviving Ghostbusters in their original roles. Ernie Hudson, Bill fucking Murray, and especially the man who co-wrote the original movies, Dan Aykroyd. The oddball Canadian funny man who's been behind some of Hollywood's funniest films, as well as some of its most fascinating failures. But behind the dick-nosed judges and blues singers turning into zombies is Aykroyd's real-life obsession with UFOs and the paranormal, which came especially in handy when Dan starred in the 1988 extraterrestrial rom-com, My Stepmother is an Alien. Surprisingly, Aykroyd had no hand in writing this movie script, as it was originally written by a mysterious gentleman named simply Jericho, as a serious sci-fi drama that also served as an allegory for child abuse, which was inspired by Jericho's real-life encounter with an alien that abused his black human son. I swear to fuck that this is the real story behind this movie, folks. When Paramount Pictures optioned Jericho's script in 1981, they thought it would work better as a comedy, and by the time it finally hit production a few years later at Columbia Pictures, with Aykroyd starring alongside Kim Basinger, it had been completely rewritten by the screenwriters of Aykroyd's Trading Places, and Jericho's response to the funnier version of his original script was, "Hollywood is a doomed planet." How fortunate that My Stepmother is an Alien happened to be a doomed movie that was anally probed by critics and failed to invade movie theaters. But since the movie did grow to become a cult hit on video, I'll see if Dan Aykroyd can bust a gut as well as he can bust a ghost with his other paranormal 80s comedy. And for those of you asking why I'm not reviewing Coneheads instead, how dare you? Coneheads is one of the most underrated SNL movies ever, and I won't speak ill of it. It gave us the mass quantities meal deal at Subway, which was way better than the nothing but trouble Vulcanvania value pack over at Wiener Schnitzel.
Stadium pranks, you know, like they had before they brought in night games.
I suggest you have them the same way. Go ahead there, folks. Pick yourself up a couple of dogs.
Thanks for watching Awfully Good Movies. If you enjoy our shows, please subscribe to our channel right now, like this video, and click on the bell so you can be notified each time a new video goes up. Now, back to the show. Since we're all out of Crystal Head vodka, you'd better switch to some spiked Ecto Cooler, so you can choose your form of the Awfully Good Drinking Game. Take a shot or drink every time you hear another pop song off the soundtrack, beginning with the British synth poppers The Art of Noise following up their cover of the Dragnet theme for Dan Aykroyd's Dragnet movie with the cover of Prince's Kiss over the opening credits, featuring vocals from the legendary Tom Jones.
You don't have to be rich. Think I better dance now.
Not gonna lie guys, this song is now in my Spotify library, because it is, as the kids say, a banger. And it also predicts Tom Jones's later encounters with aliens in Mars Attacks. What can I say? Tom Jones's music transcends galaxies.
Yeah!
Now our story opens with the introduction of Dan Aykroyd as astrophysicist Dr. Stephen Mills, who works at a research lab to send a radio signal into outer space that'll finally have the human race making contact with aliens through the use of the MacGuffin beam, the Klystron beam.
I won't let the Klystron go above 300. Do you know what it costs to repair a Klystron tube?
You can't go blowing up your climbing the Kleiberg tube or whatever it is.
Who are we kidding here, movie? You just saved money on sets by shooting the real-life Dan Aykroyd in his basement using his own personal equipment to talk to aliens.
If we increase the power of the Klystron using lightning, we may be able to get a signal strong enough to get out of the solar system.
They indicate a supra form of reality as valid
as our normal reality. No one will show us the bodies from Roswell.
Look, Dan, you don't need to apologize to the cartoonians for the events of 9/11. Your crazy ass is enough to scare them away from our planet. And in the role of Dr. Mills's horny sleazebag brother Ron is another SNL cast member who's well suited to playing horny sleazebags, Jon Lovitz, who wants his recently widowed brother to join him at the singles bar and find him a new woman.
Complimentary hors d'oeuvre. Veritable who's who of secretaries and beauticians.
But who instead screws with his brother's transmission to space when the metal buttons on his jacket accidentally serve as a superconductor for the Klystron beam that shoots the signal millions of light years away to a far distant galaxy.
That means we were traveling faster than the speed of light! How the hell do we do that?
Why do I gotta do that?
Mills! I'm okay! I am okay!
Oh, thank God Jon Lovitz is okay. I can't handle any more SNL cast deaths this year after Norm Macdonald.
What? Get that off me!
Sadly, the proof of Steven's signal disappears when his TV monitors break. And after a cut that so cleverly parodies Kubrick's 2001, Ha Ha Ha, we meet Dr. Mills's adorable young daughter Jessie, played by a 13-year-old Allison Hannigan in her movie screen debut, whom Steven has been struggling to raise alone after the death of his beloved wife.
I'm wearing a bra.
You can't be. You're only 13.
All right, Larry Bird, what's for dinner?
Frozen pizza, whatever else we can nuke in the microwave.
Boy, this family is struggling so much that even their dog is petrified with fear. Poor thing must be related to the hypnotized dog from Problem Child 2.
You're my one-two friend.
So next we travel to the foot fetish galaxy where Tarantino's Star Trek movie would have taken place, as we meet the titular stepmother/alien Celeste, played by Kim Basinger, who's from the planet that received Dr. Mills's transmission and is tasked by her leaders to go to Earth and find out how the beam was sent. Which means Celeste must present herself to Dr. Mills as the most desirable female out there, with some help from her talking and wisecracking alien purse.
Have you mastered it yet?
Of course. You know how superb our research is. Men on Earth will fall to their knees for a beautiful woman.
Unfortunately, the aliens' knowledge of our culture and customs is limited by the 92 million light years between our planets. And Celeste embarrasses herself in front of Dr. Steve during their first meeting with her dated pop culture references.
Hey, we're the monkeys.
Huh?
People say we monkey around. Nixon's the one.
Dick Nixon?
This bird's for you. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. I'm strong to the finish, 'cause I eat me spinach. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. Toot toot.
Well, that was embarrassing for both Celeste and Kim Basinger's career. I just hope this scene taught you kids out there about the dangers of smoking carrots. Not even once. But Dan Aykroyd doesn't mind this lady's strange behavior. After all, he dated Carrie Fisher at the height of her coke addiction. And since Celeste is as verbose in science jargon as he is, he's easily seduced into leading her to the institute he was just fired from, where Celeste gets them in with a sexy dress and a fake ID spit out by her magic purse, and takes care of Dr. Mills's snooping boss.
I'd better be on my way home.
Yes, and as British J. Jonah Jameson, I shall also peruse the photographs of that dreadful arachnid lad. A chip cheerio, a what? The purse also teaches Celeste about how to kiss the smitten doctor, through a bunch of movie clips of kissing that definitely violate Tom Servo's rule of never showing a good movie in the middle of your bad movie. Okay, we get the joke. She doesn't know how to kiss. Please move forward. This feels like a bad improv exercise on whose line is it anyway. Say, how about we get a good look at that little alien who's living inside of Celeste's purse? I'm sure it'll be a neat Jim Henson design or something.
We're broken through our shields.
Oh, Jesus! Oh, God! Oh, Jesus! God! Oh, Mary!
Holy Christ, her purse contains a full-on H.R. Giger dick alien. Why in the hell would you want this thing telling you what sex is supposed to be? Just stick me in your vagina.
What does this mean, Debbie does Dallas? Debbie does Dusseldorf.
Whoa!
Whoa! Imagine you're a little kid in 1988 dragging your mom along to see the new comedy with the Ghostbusters guy, and you get treated to fucking porno. Your mom would be justified in giving you the ass whooping of your life. Especially when Basinger poses for Aykroyd in slow-mo and sexy lingerie to the tune of Pump Up the Volume, Pump Up the Volume, presumably because the rights to the Day Bow Bow song cost too much.
God, you're beautiful. Bustin' makes me feel good.
At least it's better than the movie's original idea to have Dan Aykroyd posing in sexy lingerie.
Climb on. Maybe we can work it out together.
Actually, Basinger's performance here feels like a precursor to her role as Holly Wood in Ralph Bakshi's Cool World. An innocent fish out of water from a land beyond ours who lets out a squealing laugh like Marilyn Monroe.
How silly. Ooh. I'll do it!
And becomes enamored with the pleasures of sex.
Think of all the energy produced. You could propel half your people right out of the galaxy.
If we could harness the energy output from the male members of the Martin Sheen family, we could probably put the state of Illinois on Pluto.
Are we sure we want our planet's energy supply running off of Charlie Sheen's sexual maneuvers? Sure, we'll have clean, sustainable energy, but now our planet's water supply has been replaced by tiger blood. And Aykroyd's single dad here is a lot like his character in My Girl. A quirky widowed father juggling his new girlfriend with raising a precocious little moppet, with Allison Hannigan disturbingly obsessed with getting her dad laid again.
You stayed here?
Just overnight.
That's fabulous!
Sweetie, you are aware that you can't share your dad's sex life with the kids in math class, right? But Celeste tells Dr. Mills she has to go back to her homeland, and Stephen desperately begs for her to marry him just a few hours after their first meeting.
I can't let you go. Not now, not ever. Without you, there is no life. Your face.
Do you think you could think about science if we got married?
If only I knew that you were going to be with me and that you weren't going away anywhere.
This is the kind of marriage proposal that leads to your honeymoon being spent chained to your husband's radiator next to the corpse of his last wife. But Celeste is convinced to tie the knot after a meeting with her planet's Elder Council, who look like rejected characters from Dune and are led by legendary voice actor Tony Jay.
He will be unable to think about science unless he marries me.
Well, marry him. If he does something wrong, you can set him on fire while he sleeps and go on a talk show where everyone will forgive you and love you.
Boy, how little things have changed with that joke in the last 30 years. Amber Heard! Oh, I coughed into the microphone there. Sorry about that. So Stephen and Celeste tie the knot in a hastily assembled ceremony, where the priest is Sarah Connor's psychiatrist, one of the flower girls is a young Juliette Lewis, and his best man is his brother Ron, who is wary of this quickie marriage.
Oh, why does this happen to you? I know, citizenship. She wants to take jobs away from Americans and give them to Dutch people.
Oh great, now John Lovitz has just got himself cancelled by the Dutch. Hashtag cancel Jan Laverlitz. And not even a wedding can proceed normally with this girl. You got dogs flying up on the roof. You got Lovitz getting hands-on with his brother's bride. And Jessie begs her dad to cancel the wedding when she finds her future stepmom drinking from batteries. God damn it, Joe Rogan, stop telling your listeners to drink batteries. It is not as good as getting a COVID vaccine. But Jessie must put her worries on hold to go on a first date with yet another future celebrity.
Hi, I'm Fred.
Martin Short, ladies and gentlemen. No, of course, that's a brace-faced Seth Green as Jessie's dweeby date. Several years before he and Allison Hannigan would be romantically involved once more on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And neither of these two look significantly different nowadays from their 13-year-old selves. Perhaps they really are vampires. Or aliens. Or vampire aliens. Only halfway through the movie do we find out why this title is told from the perspective of Aykroyd's daughter, as she's constantly dropping in on Celeste and her magic purse, pulling off some more shenanigans. The purse calls Dr. Mills' boss to get him rehired at the facility by impersonating the voice of legendary scientist Carl Sagan, with Harry Shearer providing Sagan's voice and sounding eerily similar to a certain Springfield principal.
How's Skippy?
Oh, she's fine.
Tell her I asked after her. A beautiful, desirable woman.
Skinner? Who's Carl Sagan?
Oh, of course I know who Carl Sagan is. He's that guy who wrote that movie where the alien turned out to be Jodie Foster's dad. Then Celeste drives to a diner to find her husband some breakfast by taking the diner's menu and cooking every item on it herself by the next morning. It just goes to show how inconsistently written these aliens are. One minute they have the power to read a book just by sticking their arm in it, and the next they don't know that grocery stores don't accept diamonds as currency.
Haven't you got anything smaller?
It feels like it's trying to be an adaptation of Bewitched and My Favorite Martian at the same time. And only in the final act do you find the only remaining trace of this script's origins as a dark sci-fi allegory for child abuse, with the daughter telling dad that their mom is a werewolf / vampire / the babysitter's dead, and dad never believing his daughter's crazy accusations, leaving Celeste to confirm her alien origins to her stepdaughter by going full-on Carrie White on her ass.
Oh my God! Your father penetrated our atmosphere with a radar beam 9 days ago. We must duplicate that transmission in 12 hours, or our civilization will be destroyed.
But what about my father? He loves you.
Celeste doesn't care. Right, Celeste? Right, Celeste?
Would you folks find it hard to believe that the actress who voiced this purse later went on to die in jail for planning the murder of her brother-in-law, who happened to be this movie's director, Richard Benjamin? No, I didn't think you would.
Bitch.
And Allison Hannigan is surprisingly the best actress in these more dramatic scenes, despite sharing the screen with an Oscar-winning actress and an Oscar-nominated actor.
Your stepmother is not an alien.
You don't have any answer and you won't believe me and she's gonna be gone in 12 hours and why won't you listen to me?
And to make it worse, I just found out that Seth Green got stung to death by bees right after our date. Daddy, when you bury his body, make sure you don't forget his glasses. He can't see without his glasses.
He's gone, sweetheart. He's gone.
So lost without you.
But you know what My Girl didn't have in it? Amazing special effects.
You gave yourself away to save my life.
My God, it's true. Not only is my wife an alien, but my daughter has been a ghost this entire time. M. Night Shyamalan, you've done it again.
What a twist!
While this isn't one of Dan Aykroyd's most colorful parts, he does a fine job playing a regular human being for once. You can feel his struggle at finally finding alien life and a new lover all at once, only to have to say goodbye to her once he saves her planet.
I'm confused, I'm upset, I'm frustrated, I'm furious. You're everything I ever wanted, in a human and in an extraterrestrial.
Speaking of which, Steven finally realizes that the metal buttons on his brother's shirt is what helped propel the Klystron beam. And they're off to the research facility, while Celeste's evil purse is left behind at home and calls up Lovitz on the phone, impersonating Celeste, to seduce him into bringing the purse to, wait a minute. What the hell is going on with that shelf in Lovitz's house? Why does it look like a gimp? What twisted sex shit is Lovitz's character into? Now remember, mistress, the safe word is buy my book! So just as Steven succeeds in resetting the signal and saving Celeste's planet,
Science! Science!
his brother walks in with the alien purse, who unleashes upon the Earthlings the fury of the invert video effect that I have on the editing software I'm using to edit this review. Really, Aykroyd? You've gone from the incredible effects in Ghostbusters to now fighting an eyeball puppet like you're Bela Lugosi fighting a rubber octopus?
You do a woman a favor and the iron birds attacks you.
Oh, and now it's turned into Tony Jay? This poor guy's already played a giant alien head in an 80s sci-fi comedy. Anyway, Celeste must convince the alien council that our shithole planet is worth saving from destruction.
You never said you were going to destroy this place.
We must. They have war, they have indifference, they have suffering.
But they also have jitterbugs and children and jokes and Jimmy Durante.
Jimmy.
Oh fuck, I forgot to mention the Jimmy Durante subplot. You see, Aykroyd's character has a love for the works of old-time vaudeville comedian Jimmy Durante.
Good night, Mrs. Calabash, wherever you are.
And good night, Mrs. Calabash, wherever you are.
You kids may know him best as the guy who sang that song in the Joker trailer. So to save humanity from the aliens, Basinger and Aykroyd perform a song that Durante performed in the 1942 Bette Davis Christmas comedy, The Man Who Came to Dinner. Oh hooray! Humanity has just been saved thanks to Turner Classic Movies.
Did you ever have the feeling that you wanted to go?
Still have the feeling that you wanted to stay.
Come on, you dope, untie his rope and watch him go insane.
It's tough to have the feeling that you wanted to go. Ha-cha-cha-cha-cha.
Kill them.
Hey, wait a moment. Before you make a judgment, let's ask Jimmy Durante himself what he thought of that performance.
Start to go, change your mind. Start to go again, but change your mind again.
Is he kidding?
Well, you heard the man. Let's blow up Earth. Thanks a lot, Aykroyd. But after Celeste telepathically projects her fondest memories of Earth into the Council's heads, they are persuaded to let Earth survive, in exchange for an emissary from Earth who can tell the aliens all about our weird-ass world. And who better to rep for humanity than the star of High School High?
Does anyone up there look as good as she does?
Everyone does.
Plus, Lovitz's intergalactic flight will be piloted by a flight crew of sexy alien babes, who all resemble his dream girl.
Princess Stephanie of Monaco.
Really?
Oh no, they all look like Princess Stephanie.
Look, I know a lot about obscure 80s pop culture, but I know shit all about Princess Stephanie of Monaco. Is she the one who Kristen Stewart plays in that Spencer movie? Is she on The Crown? So thus we have reached a happy ending for most of our characters. Celeste gets to stay on Earth with Dr. Steve, she helps his daughter finally dunk a basketball in their backyard, and Jon Lovitz would live happily ever after with his bevy of alien babes. Until Jon Lovitz started getting creepy with the females on planet Conehead, and he was sentenced for his sex crimes to Narvel the Garthok!
Ow.
The only other screenwriting credit for Jericho was the great Joe Dante comedy Matinee, which Jericho tried taking his name off and replacing it with the pseudonym Fuck. But clearly it's this movie he should have distanced himself from, as his weirdly interesting concept has been rewritten to resemble every other fish out of water movie from this decade. Splash, Starman, Big, you get the idea. Yet despite its cliched and contrived attempts at humor, My Stepmother is an Alien is an enjoyable time capsule of the far simpler era of 80s comedy that's got a solid cast, particularly the beyond cute Allison Hannigan and Jon Lovitz playing the type of slimy loser that he's always great at. And with Arrow Video about to release a special edition Blu-ray of this movie, now is the perfect time to pair this up on a double feature with Earth Girls Are Easy and have yourself some intergalactic chuckles. And now that Dan Aykroyd has finally made a third Ghostbusters, it's time for him to finally bring back the Coneheads, perhaps by introducing them into the Dune universe?
It stinks.
On the enjoyableness continuum scale from Bull to Bruce, My Stepmother is an Alien successfully crosses the streams of weird sci-fi and corny comedy, and drops into the containment unit a spirit of 7 out of 10. The truth, as well as a sexy as hell Kim Basinger, is out there. I'm Jesse Shade for JoBlo.com, and thanks again for watching our show. If you like what you see, please subscribe to the JoBlo Videos channel. Tell all your friends who like this sort of content, and turn on the bell to receive notifications for all our latest videos. We are an independent company that appreciates all of your support. And who needs a theme song from Digital Underground when this movie's soundtrack has a theme performed by Dan Aykroyd himself, as composed by his brother Peter Aykroyd, co-writer of Nothing But Trouble.
Hot wife watching TV, they leave